Welcome back to Trans Guy Reacts. My name is Nick, and I make videos about women's collegiate basketball and women's professional basketball. Today, I'm going to do a recap of the Friday, May 17th games, and then share a little bit of news about the Las Vegas Aces as well. So first off, let's talk about the first game, which was the Washington Mystics versus the Connecticut Sun. So that game was pretty interesting. I would say very even play between both teams. They were just going at it the entire game. Elena Deladon is not playing this year. That's because she doesn't want to play with the Mystics. She wants to get traded, and they don't want to trade her, so they're coring her. And so she's like, "Well, I'm just not going to play." So I totally respect that, and she's not playing this year. She's going to heal and rest. We'll see what happens next year if another team wants to buy out her contract, or if the Mystics will let her out. They have the right to core her again, and I believe that she will probably not play next year either if they don't let her out her contract. But anyway, besides her being out, that was pretty much the biggest thing. They still played pretty evenly. You had Sykes. I can't even remember Sykes' first name. I can just call her Slim. She went down, unfortunately, with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. It looks like with a maybe ankle sprain of some sort, foot sprain, something like that, and she couldn't come back into the game. So that's unfortunate because sprains usually you're out for a couple of weeks. So hopefully she's better. She gets better. And yeah, Brittany Sykes. That's her first name. And then you had Olivia Nelson-Adoda going at Aaliyah Edwards, which was really great. Olivia Nelson-Adoda, sorry, big trucks are going to go by, traffic. I live right at the street, and I live in Mexico. It gets loud. Anywho, so Nelson-Adoda had this crazy block on Aaliyah Edwards, kind of like, a little welcome to the league moments, of course. But it was kind of funny because they're both UConn players, so a little UConn on UConn crime there. And then like I said, it was pretty tight going into the second quarter, but the Mystics had the edge. But then the Mystics started struggling a little bit, a lot of turnovers. But then, you know what? Dejanay Carrington, DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, they're all playing very well, so it was fine. And then from the Mystics, Carly Samuelson was playing really, really well. So she was kind of matching Dejanay Carrington's play as well. They're like going kind of at it. Carly Samuelson is really known for her three-point shooting, which is also to note. She has a younger sister by the name of Katie Lou, and Katie Lou is also she plays on the Indiana Fever. She's also a three-point threat, so they're like the three-point shooting sisters there. Interesting to note, Katie Lou did get drafted, but Carly didn't. Carly was undrafted, but she got into the league based on her gameplay. So that's pretty awesome. Shakira Austin for the Mystics had this really hard foul on DeWanna Bonner, and that got her third foul. There was only like 1.5 minutes left in the second quarter, but they were just going at it. And then there was like right after that, Carrington had some threes and they were like super open. So, but a little short. She was still playing well, but she missed a few shots, is what I'm basically saying. But at the half, it was tied, 36 even. But like I said, Carly Samuelson and Dejanay Carrington were going at it. Carly had 14 points at the half, and Carrington had 10. So you can see, like, they were pretty much neck and neck going at it together. But then it was in the third quarter, again, very, very close game. And then Carly kind of went cold in the third quarter until the last minute, and then she hit a three. But we go into the third quarter, it's 56-52, Mystics are up. So we're like this really interesting, like, going at it, a little bit of, a couple points here and there going up and down. Motorcycle going by. So yeah, great back-to-back plays by DeWanna Bonner. They go up 62-69. So the Sun go up 7 points there with 5 minutes left in the fourth. Mystics called timeout, and DeWanna Bonner did her classic, like, she does this thing where she kind of stops and then like tilts her head. She's like, after she gets this great play. It was pretty awesome. Dejanay Carrington was all over the court. She had some great plays, some great assists. She even was blocking shots. It was just like a beautiful game, to be honest. Especially thinking about like her last game against the Indiana Fever and how she was locking up Caitlin Clark. Pretty much the same thing here, except even more offense in this game. It was just a beautiful thing to see. And she's only been in the league for like 3 years maybe, so she's just relatively new player, but on the way to being a veteran, plays like a veteran. And then you had Van Loo, who I think her name is Julie. Yeah, Julie Van Loo. She was really surprising. She is a 31-year-old rookie from Belgium, but she's been playing overseas, obviously. But came into this into this league undrafted. So no, not undrafted. She got drafted. So kind of interesting. 31 years old, gets drafted, but that's what happens sometimes when you're an international player. But the Belgium girls can ball. I mean, if you remember. Emma Mieseman used to be on the Washington Mystics, and she was a killer on the floor, so consistent. I miss her. She's still playing. She just doesn't want to play in the W, which I don't blame her because she doesn't make enough money here. She makes way more money overseas, and this is such a grind, and the schedules are much easier overseas than they are here, so I get it. But anyway, both teams were gritting it out, but they were very evenly matched. And the Sun played really fantastic defense, and they kind of sealed it with at the end. Duana Bonner had some 3-point shots. Oh, sorry, she had a shot, then she got fouled. She did some free throws, and then Stafford pretty much sealed the deal. But then Ty Harris went down for a steal and got a layup, and then that was it. In total, the Sun had 14 steals in that game, so pretty amazing. They ended up winning 77-84. So pretty fantastic game. The breakdown on points was the Mystics had Carly Samuelson had 18 points, Julie Van Loo had 12 points, Shakira Austin had 10 points and 9 rebounds, so she almost had a double-double. Steph Dolson had 9 points, so almost double points there too. And Aaliyah Edwards, she's the rookie. She had 6 points, and I saw her make some really good defensive stops, so she did well. To note, Dee Dee Richards only got 3 minutes of play. Emily Ingsler and Jade Melbourne didn't play at all, so I thought that was interesting. For the Sun, Duana Bonner had 22 points, Carrington had 21 points, and Thomas had 13 points and 11 rebounds for a double-double. She did not get a triple-double, but she gets a lot, so I'm sure there'll be more coming this season. To note for this game, Tiffany Mitchell only played 3 minutes. Queen Egbo and Esther Dorfall didn't play at all. And then that was that game. So Sun was able to pull it out, but like I said, they were pretty evenly matched with the Mystics. The next game, this was a doozy of a game, I have to tell you. It was the Seattle Storm versus the Minnesota Lynx, and this is the home opener for the Minnesota Lynx. Mind you, the last game they played against Seattle was at their home court, and they beat them by 13 points. And it was pretty dominant that whole game. But I would not say that about this game. This game was wild. So it was really good turnout, too. Target Center was pretty full. It wasn't a sellout, but it looked pretty full. The Lynx were playing really well, and they have been since the beginning of the preseason. But they didn't have that many new additions, per se, as opposed to Seattle, which has like so many new team members, and it's like they're still figuring each other out, the chemistry, and they were struggling a little bit with this new roster. I did love seeing Alyssa Peely she's a rookie on the Minnesota Lynx. She got in the game. She got total, I think, about 9 or 10 minutes in the game, so that was really great. She ended up getting 5 points in the game total, and she made a 3 too, it was her first points, and it was a 3-point shot, and it was good. I was like, oh, she's going to be a 3-point threat. That's great. She was completely open to it. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the first quarter, it ends 16-22, Lynx advantage. Not surprised. They're like totally in sync. They're going off for a few plays. They even get the lead up to 11 points. Peely had this offensive foul because she's just so fucking strong. She just goes at people with that strength, and it's going to take her a little bit of time to adjust, but she'll get it. She has the power. She's going to do fantastic. Lloyd, I have to say, in the beginning was struggling with her shot. It did come along later, but she was definitely struggling. Sammy Whitcomb goes in the game and immediately gets a 3, but she also struggles in this game. She doesn't really play as well as she normally does. Ezzy hits a 3. She plays okay. They really need some more perimeter shooting, in my opinion. They're driving to the basket a lot, but I don't think that's as effective because Lynx has such tall players that they're just getting their shots blocked. But Lloyd was getting some good deflection. She finally hits her first three in that second quarter, I think, and then gets it down to like a 5 point difference. And then at the half, it was 37-44 Lynx. So still the Lynx have the advantage. And Collier had 12 points at the half. Okay, Nafisa Collier had 12 points at the half. So we're already like, it's not looking great for Seattle. Also, I want to note this halftime performance was very interesting, kind of weird. It was the oldest acrobat or something. I don't know, some dude. He was like standing on stacked chairs, like 8-9 stacked chairs, wearing this like onesie, one-let uni kind of situation, purple, kind of but very loose, and it had a shirt underneath, but it had like a deep V-neck, a very deep V-neck, and these really big wing collar. It was strange. And then he did, he at one point he did like go upside down on the top of the stacked chairs. That was kind of interesting, but it was like, this is the halftime entertainment. It's always like weird, and that's at every basketball game. It's always some weird, I don't know, talent, that they're doing. I mean, it's great, whatever. Anyway, back to the game. So started the third quarter. Victoria Vivians, who is usually a 3-point threat, she had a really hard time this game. I don't think she scored any points actually. So that's kind of unlike her. So hopefully she kind of figures out her rhythm and gets back into it, because she used to be like this really great 3-point shooter. Nneka gets her third foul in like 3 minutes left in the third. I'm like, ooh, we're getting crazy here with these fouls. I don't know. But Skylar Diggins is able to make a lot of this up. The ball is falling for her. She's playing really well. Although I would say there are a lot of dumb fouls on both sides. The Lynx and the Storm are making some really dumb fouls. But the Lynx were getting the ball to fall way more than the Storm. So it kind of went into the Lynx favor. Like I said, in the third quarter, Peely had hit her first points in the regular season. It was cute. It was good. It was smooth. It was nice. I'm really excited to see her playing more. Yeah. And then at the end of the third, it was 56-63. Still the Lynx up. I'm just like, oh, the Lynx are definitely going to win this game at this point, right? But Seattle storms back in the fourth and gets it down a 2-point difference. And I was like, oh, okay. Seattle's coming to play, all right. But then the Lynx roar back. They come roaring back and get it to a 10-point lead. It's like, what is going on? And the Storm are battling, but Lynx is starting to foul at the end, and Collier gets 2 fouls in less than like 30 seconds. I was like, Nafisa, what are you doing? What is going on, girl? And then now we're at a 3-point difference. So now it's 75-78. I'm like, oh, whoa, is Lynx going to come in here with the upset? Maybe. So Lloyd, the crazy thing is, this is the craziest ending to this fourth quarter. Lloyd fouls McBride, so they can get the ball back, essentially. So McBride goes to the free throw and misses both free throws. What? She could have kind of sealed the deal for them. And then immediately they go back the other way. McBride immediately fouls Lloyd on a 3-point shot. And you know what Lloyd does? She makes all three free throws, all 3 of them. So now it's tied. Oh my God. It's 15.6 seconds left, and the game is tied 78-78. Wow. Unfortunately, for the Lynx, Seattle was able to keep them out from making their shots at the end. So now we go into overtime. Ooh, okay. So this first overtime, there are turnovers galore. So many turnovers. It was really crazy. And then Lloyd ends up fouling out on a moving screen with 1 minute left. I'm like, God damn it, Lloyd. Oh my God, Joel, what are you doing? So unfortunately, Lloyd fouls out. That's a problem because that gives the Lynx the advantage. Collier, and then another crazy thing happens. It's crazy. Then Collier gets fouled with 2.7 seconds left and misses the second free throw, which could have won the game. All right. So it was 88 to. They could have been she would have made the free throw. It would have been 88-89. They had 2.7 seconds left. It would have been over. But nope. She missed that second free throw, and we go into second overtime, 88 tied. Second over, 2 freaking overtimes. Crazy. Now, crazy thing happens. They're going at it, they're battling, but it seems like Lynx had a little bit more energy. They were really like going after the ball, very, very physical. And then NECA, unfortunately, went down with a turned ankle and had to come off the court with 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. So now you have Lloyd and Owumake off of the floor. You got your two star players, Jewel and NECA. They're off the floor now. And so that's obviously going to be Minnesota's, it's going to be their advantage. And it was. And they were able to get the points back up to 10-point difference. And I was like, God damn, oh no, no. And eventually they ended the game 93 to 102. So it was an 11-point win. When you don't have your two star players on the floor, I mean, it's just what can you do? What can you do at that point? You're bound to lose the game at that point. They did. At the end of that game, the breakdown was the Storm. NECA Owumake had 24 points and 11 rebounds. She did have a double-double, but she came out injured. Jewel Lloyd had 20 points. Skylar Duggan-Smith had 22 points. Everyone played, but Dulcie I can't say her name. And everyone played. Excuse me. Dulcie and Kiana Williams only played for 3 minutes, and they weren't effective on the floor. And then Nika Mule was not even there, and that's likely because she has visa issues. She hasn't been approved for her visa yet, and I don't know why. What's the holdup with the immigration office? Because it's like she was playing with UConn as a college athlete, and now she got drafted into the W. It should be a very easy switch to the new visa, but there's some holdup, and so she can't play. She's missed a few games now because of that, which is absolutely ridiculous. And that's government for you. And then for the Minnesota Lynx, Nafisa Collier had 29 points. Smith, oh my God, Alana Smith had 16 points. Kayla McBride had 19 points, and Courtney Williams had 10 points. So, and I think Ezzy McLevore. Oh no, Ezzy's on the other team. They had 10 points. And then Dorka Uhas was not there. I don't know what's going on with that. If she had any kind of visa issues too. My light went out. Oh well. And then they didn't play Taylor Soul. She was there, but they didn't play her. So that was the games. Very exciting. Very exciting. First game was just like neck and neck, but the Sun roughed it out and got the win. And then the Storm in this Lynx game was crazy because it looked like the Lynx were going to win outright, but the Storm battled back and was able to make it interesting and go into 2 overtimes. That was freaking wild. And this is why this league is the best of the best of the best. These players are so freaking good. It is so evenly matched that every game you just don't know who's going to win. It's going to be tight, usually the entire game, unless you're not a good team like the Indiana Fever. But, other than that, oh my God, it was fantastic. Whew. Really excited for tomorrow's games. I want to end this video talking about the Las Vegas Aces. So I watched a video online on social media where the Las Vegas Aces, I guess it was the mayor, I didn't really couldn't tell who it was, but a government representative, probably the mayor, came to talk to the team and let them know that they were sponsoring the entire team. Every single player was going to be sponsored, and they were getting $100K each. $100K, yo, that is crazy. And all they had to do was keep representing the city. They didn't have to win a certain amount of games. They didn't have to win the championship again. They just had to be the best that they are. Just play their game. Wild. It was fantastic. Now that is how you support women in sports. You show them the fucking money, okay? And that is so great. I'm really happy for Deasia Fair and Kate Martin because their rookie salaries are like $70K, and that they're getting more on the sponsorship than their salary. So this is this is like life-changing kind of money kind of situation. So this is fantastic. I'm applaud Las Vegas. They got the money. They got the money to spare. So putting it where it deserves to be and setting a standard. And that's like something that should be done across the board for all cities. They should be doing this for all of the teams, but we're not going to get into that. Very happy about that news. Well-deserved for the team, especially since they're back-to-back champions. No one's done that since the Houston Comets. What a day to be alive. I love women's basketball. Obviously, if you are new here, I've been a fan for 20 plus years since I was a little kid. Nah, I was not a little kid. I was a teenager. Ooh, I'm old. And I love supporting women's sports. I'm a trans man. So I am here putting myself out there on the universe in the internet for people to see my fandom, basically, and my biased opinions. If you like this content, go ahead, share, and subscribe. I don't allow comments because it's just usually a bunch of trolls, and I don't have time for that. I don't have time for children, and I don't care what you think about me. So, but I appreciate you being here. If you do rock with me, rock with me. If you don't, kick rock.